On January 11, 2024, over 4,000 domestic cars were being loaded onto two giant ships at Shanghai Haitong Dock under the workers' direction, one heading to South America and the other to the Persian Gulf. On the same day, the Automotive Industry Association released data showing that China's car exports reached 4.91 million units in 2023, surpassing Japan and making China the world's top exporter. This groundbreaking news quickly spread throughout the Chinese automotive industry, energizing countless people. However, the road ahead is long and full of challenges. At a campaign rally in Ohio in March 2024, Trump said he would impose a 100% tariff on Chinese cars to protect American auto workers. 8 months later, he took office with a sweeping victory, and both the House and Senate shifted to the Republican side. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the European Commission officially approved a tariff of up to 35% on Chinese electric vehicles. The new tariffs and the wave of deglobalization are sweeping the world, but the era of Western countries monopolizing markets and technology is long gone. Compared to the past, we have more leverage now. In this smoke-free war, only those companies that are brave enough to explore new markets and master core technologies will come out on top. In June 1983, a yellow Toyota parked on the side of the road at a car factory in Detroit, Michigan. A bunch of auto workers started smashing it with sledgehammers while a crowd cheered them on, showing their anger towards the car. Since the 70s, Japanese cars had been taking over the US market, skyrocketing from 310,000 units in 1970 to 1.77 million by 1979, a nearly six-fold increase in just 10 years. Japanese cars are super popular in the US, and the share of American-made cars keeps shrinking. Back in 1980, the US kicked off a 301 investigation against Japan, claiming trade barriers were keeping American cars out of the Japanese market. This forced Japan to agree to voluntary export limits. To deal with these export restrictions and the auto trade war, Japanese car companies started looking to boost their production and market presence outside the US, starting with Canada, which had demands similar to the US market, just in the first quarter of 1981. Japan's exports of passenger cars to Canada shot up by almost 90%. After securing the Canadian market, Japanese automakers gradually shifted their focus from North America to Europe, Latin America, Asia, the Middle East, and Oceania. By the late 90s, Japan had pretty much finished setting up its global car production, with investments primarily concentrated in Europe and Asia. To meet the diverse needs of different markets and consumers, Japanese automakers have developed various types of cars with different features, designs, and price points. Even though Japan's economy hit a rough patch, its auto industry has remained a leader in the global market for nearly 30 years. During this time, China's auto industry has also taken off. In 1997, entrepreneur Li Shufu bought a bankrupt state-owned car factory in Sichuan for $23 million, marking the rise of the first privately owned car company in the country. In 2001, right before China joined the WTO, Geely made headlines by becoming the first private company in the country to get a license to produce cars. In 2003, BYD, known for electronics, jumped into the auto industry. That same year, Changan shifted its focus to the passenger car market. With more and more local players entering the scene, China's auto industry was experiencing rapid growth, but challenges were also starting to pile up. In 2010, Geely Group bought Volvo Cars from Ford for $1.8 billion, making it the biggest overseas acquisition ever by a Chinese carmaker. This deal really boosted both sides. It helped revive Volvo and gave Geely significant technological and management advancements, along with Volvo's high safety standards. Geely's product DNA has evolved from imitation to innovation, shifting from just making a good impression to developing its own technology. They've made a significant leap, just like many other Chinese car companies, and are now stepping onto the global stage. At the same time, climate change is getting worse, extreme weather is happening more often, and the idea of going green is becoming a worldwide consensus. China's new energy vehicles are starting to carve out a place for themselves in the traditional fuel car market around the world. In the early days of Chinese electric vehicles going global, they faced two main challenges: shaking off the stereotype of being cheap and low quality, and convincing consumers that electric cars are durable. In September 2024, at an auto show in Penang, Malaysia, a muddy Chinese electric vehicle was showcased. This Geely Galaxy traveled all the way from Guizhou, China, covering 3,735 kilometers through 4 Southeast Asian countries, navigating rough mountain roads and muddy paths, and even braving the storms of a typhoon. It's impressive that a budget electric car could endure such tough conditions. Chinese cars have really impressed locals with their affordability and reliability. At the same time, the Geely brand is expanding its presence in regions like the Middle East, Asia-Pacific, Africa, Latin America, and Europe, with 653 sales and service points in 76 countries worldwide. However, as the trend of Chinese cars going global grows, the US is stepping in as expected, and history is starting to repeat itself. In March 2024, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen accused China's new energy industry of putting a strain on the world economy. 2 months later, the Biden administration announced that the import tariff on Chinese electric vehicles would go from 25% to 100%. Now, with Trump back in the White House, the media says his more aggressive protectionism will pose even bigger challenges for Chinese carmakers trying to go global. However, the macroeconomic environment and industry conditions that Chinese car companies are facing today are completely different from before. Besides the global industry and market landscape, Chinese car makers need to step up their game in building core technology barriers compared to Japan's response. The biggest value in business lies in being irreplaceable. Once you have a product that others can't easily match, you're golden. No matter how strong the trade barriers are, they can still come crashing down. Take Geely's new hybrid model, the Galaxy New Energy 7 EMI, for example. Its unique GEA architecture and safety features are top-notch in the industry. Most A-Class plug-in hybrid SUVs on the market are just converted gas vehicles, which means their driving experience and safety aren't great. But the Galaxy New Energy 7 is the first true plug-in hybrid SUV built from the ground up, equipped with the new generation of the Thor EMI electric hybrid system. The engine's thermal efficiency hits a record 46.5%, and it's got the first ever PHEV with silicon carbide, allowing for high-speed electric drive that can get as low as 3.75 liters per 100 kilometers and an impressive range of 1,420 kilometers, putting an end to range anxiety. Plus, the Galaxy series inherits Geely's safety DNA, boasting the highest safety standards in the industry with 8 major safety structures. The new energy vehicles are really focused on battery safety, and the Galaxy X recently implemented the Shield short-blade battery safety system, which passed 6 tough tests. It can withstand piercing without leaking, resist drops without exploding, and survive fire without catching on. Plus, unlike some other brands, which can suddenly lose power when the battery is low, the Galaxy X has a 5-level redundancy algorithm for added safety. It avoided that situation and supports the fastest 1.9C charging rate, allowing it to fully charge in just 20 minutes, really achieving both safety and efficiency. Besides core technology, China's massive automotive consumer market also provides a buffer for domestic car companies to mitigate the trade war. Domestic manufacturers are targeting the high-end import car market, which is benchmarked by high brand value. Beyond safety, the premium car buyers care most about the driving and riding experience. In terms of design, Geely's new Galaxy model follows the Galaxy family's aesthetic, tailored to meet the core needs of Chinese users. The Geely Galaxy blends classic SUV style with cutting-edge tech. It boasts the best space utilization in its class, especially in the back seat, which has the most head and shoulder room. The flat floor design and rear seats that fold forward create a space like a 1.5-meter bed. Plus, it has the widest entry and the lowest step in height in its class. For driving, it's equipped with a high-end HUD dashboard and central control screen, typical of luxury cars. The 3-screen setup with L2-level driving assistance really enhances the experience. Besides the basics like an electric trunk and heated/cooled seats, this new model is the only one under $400,000 that features plush seats with massage pads. It also comes with a high-end Flyme sound system with 16 speakers. Just close the door, lower the seat, and you can escape into a different world away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Geely Galaxy is carving out a niche in the premium car market with its standout product offerings in a crowded field. As the Smart Geely 2025 strategy continues to roll out, it will boost the overall strength of the Geely Galaxy product lineup and enhance future technologies. Chinese car companies will face this wave of deglobalization with more confidence.